I think it's related. I think what has happened is my brain isn't completing the process of picking up an item and moves on to something else before I finish the act, so I halfway pick it up and then end up dropping it on the floor. Is that a thing, or am I making an excuse for my butterfingers? I don't know if it is directly related. However, I have heard a lot of instances where we are, I'll say, excessively clumsy. We have bad spatial awareness. Again, not the broad stroke, but I have heard a lot of cases like that. A lot of people have said that, you know, they're terrible for, like myself, banging into shit all the time. Severe, banging into shit all the time. Dislocating shit left and right. But, you know, like myself too, right? Like I'll go to pick something up and, oh fuck, you know, drop it on the floor. I don't think it's directly related, but I know that it's a thing that many of us experience, so. That way I drop shit all the time? I mean, maybe. Are the two separate anagrams? No, it's one big old one. What we got there? Medieval Needle, welcome aboard. Clumsiness is common, yeah. Impulse control of do X bypass, yeah. Facial awareness, never heard of her. Fuck you calling me out, man. You know what I got to say to you?
Get fucked!
Hey! I'm new here, it's just relate to booze and I'm not exactly sure if I have it or not. I'm privileged enough to get a diagnosis. If you got any suggestions, if there are any tips or tricks that I or any other creator give to help you increase your quality of life, use them, run with them. What you can do is if you go into the link in my bio and scroll down to the ADHD related section, there are some self-assessment tests. There are the diagnostic criteria. You can go through those. You can see all the things, like see how much more you can, come on, words on a Friday. Basically just kind of, you know, there's your diagnostic criteria. See what you relate to. See how much those things are interfering with your life. And then that's basically what any kind of a clinician, that's what they're going to go by, depending on where you live, right? Why do we do anything but the things we're supposed to be doing? I get so mad at myself. Because your brain doesn't find it exciting. There's not enough dopamine in it. Do you ever find you're able to start complete tasks better when you're listening to music or audiobook or something? Yes. Sometimes I feel like I can't do it. Yes. Half the reason is, and it's funny that Cat Mandy showed up because I can actually tell a story here. It's because you're compensating, right? You're chasing the dopamine, right? So the thing that you're doing is not exciting. Your brain doesn't want to do it. So if you couple that with something that is a little more exciting, like music, but not overwhelmingly exciting, something you're going to get lost in. But yeah, so like audiobook, music, phone calls, those can all work as body doubling in essence, right? Because especially with like a podcast and whatnot, your brain thinks that you're talking to somebody else. So what you're doing is you're sandwiching basically, right? With your low dopamine activity, like doing the dishes, with something a little higher. You would have thought about music as a substitute dopamine for completing tasks. Yeah. Yes, it is very similar in that, right? Audiobooks, music, having someone there virtually, physically, on the phone, something like that, right? Your brain kind of gets into this. I'm here with somebody else. I hear another human voice, etc., etc. Or many people anyway. There are some people that can't do it, and that's fine. But speaking of Cat Mandy, I'm going to call you out on this one. A long time ago, back before I even knew what body doubling was, the only way that I was able to do my dishes as I was living in my little bachelor apartment was I had to call Mandy on the phone. And that was the only way I could get them done, right? Because I've got that body doubling that I was doing. Wife wants me to be her body double, but she wants to talk the whole time while I'm trying to work on things. I do better in silence, less distractions. Yeah. I don't remember if it's the episode that I'm editing right now or the one we just put out, but we were talking about body doubling. I think it was last episode. But there are some people, yeah, they are terrible to body double with. Patrick mentioned that he was one of them because he's, what did he say? I'm a needy bitch, I think is what he said. Any recommendation on how to get started? Oh, so you mean like you're having a problem, executive dysfunction kind of style? Like you have a problem getting started doing the things? Body doubling is a good start. If you can make yourself accountable to somebody else, which is where body doubling can come into it, that's a good way to get it going, because if you do that, your brain, being, most of us being people pleasers, it kind of locks onto that, okay, maybe I should do the thing. That's some ways to get started. Do it Pomodoro style, so like do it for 15 minutes, take a 5-minute break, do it for 15 minutes, take a 5-minute break, give yourself a little reward on the breaks, piece of chocolate, whatever, stuff like that. That's some of the